Testing. What's up? Welcome to BigBarrBaby. Make sure you press like, share, and subscribe. I'm really not a Damon Dash fan, but let's just see what he's saying. Hope he's not pouring smut on Diddy's name.
Well, uh, it really kind of affected me. Like, number one, that's all, in an algorithm. That's all you're going to hear is every single day, all day long. This is all people are going to talk about. But, you know, in hip hop, there's like a brotherhood. And a lot of us have known each other for 30 years since we were like basically children. And he's one of those dudes, regardless to whether I agreed with who he was or what he did and how he did things. In hip hop, we were still brothers. Like, I still consider his sons my nephews. Regardless to what he do, his sons will always be good with me. You know, if hopefully everything's cool with that as well. Or children in general. And that's how I feel about everyone from my kind of generation that graduated from that era of hip hop. So it was like, damn. I knew how much this was, number one, going to affect the face of hip hop. Because he's been a pillar for the last 30 years. There was no hip hop without certain people being mentioned. And, I'm proud to say that I'm one of those people, but he's definitely one of those people. And even though I've always, somewhat has always been a competitive nature between him and I've always admired the fact that he'll do anything. Like, when he ran the marathon, I was like, I wouldn't have did that.
Right. I do remember when Diddy ran that marathon and his feet were bleeding. I was like, this guy's crazy. Hey, for you to run a triathlon, marathon, whatever he did, and his feet were bleeding. I was like, okay, he's different.
He definitely is turned up for, he has a lot of energy. And I admired the fact that he was able to stay relevant over and over again. I couldn't understand it. I'd be like, how did he get that deal? He always gets those deals, I was definitely transparent. I was definitely sort of pissed off because I felt like I started that thing with the vodka and the liquor and the Armin deal. I remember having a conversation with him at the MTV Awards and him asking, how'd you do that, blah, blah, blah. And he went and did it a different way and made a lot of money from it. But I was like, in my brain, I was like, he's always copying. You know what I mean?
I'm still a little ambivalent about the whole alcohol thing because it's like, you all know that alcohol and nicotine are the number one things that causes coronary artery failure and cirrhosis and liver failure and kidney failure in our community. But the first thing that y'all rappers do is go and get some alcohol because y'all like, hey, they gonna go to the club anyway. So y'all go get a brand and become a brand ambassador, not even an owner. You say, hey, just give me 10%, let me push your alcohol to my people. And then after the club, there's a whole line of us getting pulled over, doing field sobriety checks and blood alcohol tests and going to jail. And you just making money off of us. So it's like, man, I'm really not cool with that black liquor thing. Like, if anything, after the club, sell us some inspiration. Like, give us some hope. Like, you're standing behind a velvet rope. Tell us we can be whatever we want. Tell us to keep our head high, stay positive. Don't sit there and try to sell us alcohol. Like, what? Like, when we go to the liquor store, let me tell y'all rappers something. We don't buy your alcohol. I've never heard anyone say, hey, give me that top shelf Branson from 50 Cent. You know, hey, give me some DeLeon tequila. No one says that. You know, now the people used to drink Ciroc. Yeah, because Diddy was turning it up, but that was for the girls, all them different flavors and stuff. But man, that stuff was watered down. That stuff was nasty.
Like, and it's sometimes I wonder, like, how does he get that deal? Like, I have a great idea, but he could always get the deal to connect him to pop culture where he could get that volume and be so embraced, you know? But I'd be like, but I'm gonna still do it my way. And I don't care, like, we've had conversations like, yo, bruh, you know, it's kind of similar ideas, but yeah, but I do them better than you. Maybe you do. But you don't celebrate that kind of thing no matter what, you know? And I started to think, because like every day something new comes out. So I'm thinking, I'm wondering in his brain, like, in this very moment, would he give up everything, all the money, all the history he's made with music, all of it, just to be regular and be free? Would he erase everything? Like, was it worth it? The 30 years of rolling, you know? If he knew 30 years ago that he had 30 years to just do whatever he wanted, and be well respected and celebrated and do all these impactful things that have affected hip hop and the trajectory of hip hop. And you know, now I'm seeing that, you know, he had a lot more power than I knew. So he was affecting everything. And you know, would he be like, yo, I'll give it all up just so I could just be with my kids every day? And when I saw him at the park with his kids, I was like, yo, that's what I do every day. You know, that's what I walked away from, because the ultimate wealth, I just always wanted a family, you know? And my mom died when I was young. I lost my girl at the time, fairly young,
Aaliyah was not
you
your
know?
girl. She was someone that she was with a pedophile. And she was underage. So please stop calling her your girl. And once again, I better ask: is it better to have had and lost, or to never have had at all? Because I'm sure, yeah, you have a family, you have kids, but you would have had that anyway, Dame. You're from Harlem. The rats up there fucking each other. I mean, come on. Y'all pull-out game is like weaker than a penny with a hole in it. Like, come on now. You have to feel some animosity when you walk around and you see Jay-Z walking with his family and his billions, and you know you helped to launch that, and you're walking around with your teeth falling out. Cut the crap.
Every, I haven't been in a functional relationship with any of my children's mothers. It's been war before they were born. And all I wanted was just a peaceful life, be able to just pick my son up from school or my child, my daughter, you know, go to all their activities, you know, take them to school, just grow with them, you know, and be with a woman that I love and be peaceful and grow together. You know, all those things was my dream. And the crazy thing is, the only way I was able to get to that dream was to detach from all of that stuff. I would never have gotten the ultimate dream had I stayed around.
Yeah, but it wasn't your choice to detach. You were removed because of your belligerent behavior and your over the top Napoleon like demeanor. You had a poor decorum. you didn't leave because you wanted to be a family man. Jay-Z and Biggs put you out. You were kicked out, remember? You went to the meetings and said, how y'all gonna have a meeting without telling me? How y'all gonna have a meeting with my artist without telling me? Remember? Jay-Z was having a meeting with the execs and they didn't want you there and you kept showing up. You know, it's like the guy that keeps showing up to the barbecue, but no one's ever inviting him, but he keeps finding us anyway. You're that guy.
You know, so I just, I know the kind of guy that he is, and he's used to being a free-spirited individual. And then I start to reflect, like, yo, how did you avoid all that? How did you just know to stay away? You know? And it's just because, like, regardless of whether what he was doing was illegal or not, that will be judged in a court of law. But what we do know was he was doing some loose shit. Like, there were actual freak-off parties, and there were environments and things that were going on that I personally would never, ever, ever do, be around. And I think people know me, and hearing about these things actually happening, people would be like, now I understand why Dame really didn't get along with certain people.
First of all, Dame, you were the leader of the freak off. Could we used to see you with a bottle to the almond deal? Give it to me. Give me that funk, that sweet, that nasty, that gushy stuff. Don't promise me. So we know y'all had 20 girls inside the car doing the same thing Diddy was doing. Okay, or maybe you wasn't in the corner cuckolding and beating your cock while you were watching these, while you were with girls, but y'all were doing the same thing. So stop calling them freak offs. Like you wasn't a part of the same culture doing the same thing. Like you just said, all y'all come from the same culture, all y'all brothers, all y'all doing the same thing. Come on, man, get out of here.
And then I'm thinking, yo, this shit was really going on? Like, cause it seems like there's like the general party, and then there's the VIP party where all the elite, so the elite people have to be knowing about what's going on, and they're still there, whether they're participating or not. That's a secret, and it must that kind of secret because like I heard things, but not that crazy. Not the things that have been admitted to doing, like not for baby oil crazy. Like I didn't know, like it's just something that was unfathomable to me. The fact that that didn't get out, that means that's a very secret club. Whoever's holding that secret, they hold it tight to the vest. And I'm like, what other secrets? Like, what deals were made in those free calls? Because a lot of the deals that happen in social environments. That's why people go to the club and they hang out all day. Bankers hang out with bankers all day to get deals done. Like I go to Tripiani's and I watch, we make, $1 billion deals over a bottle of vodka. And it was all based on, that hanging out and that trust, and you would throw your man an alley-oop because y'all hung out. If you get into that secret club and you're able to hold a secret so tight to the vest, a lot of business deals are getting made there. So now I'm like, damn, I might understand why certain people had certain opportunities, certain deals, and if they weren't participating, they were there. And they didn't leave. And they repetitively came back.
Yeah, money's the root of all evil. I mean, as we do know. But what is perplexing to me is what man tells another man, I want to put my phallus in your rectum for you to be a part of this club. I mean, that's disgusting. Like, what? Like, unless you're the type of man that looks at another man and gets a boner, you know, I couldn't see like myself saying to another man, if you don't let me do you, then I'm not gonna let you in this. To each his own.
So I don't think people knew, or maybe they were, or they didn't know. But I'll give people the benefit of doubt. Like I don't think they thought it was illegal, but it was loose. And as far as
Pause.
moral compass, morally, that would not be the environment that I would want my kids around. I would want to be around. I wouldn't want to do no business in that environment. Could you imagine me going to one of those parties and walking in that room with what I'd be like, yo,
Yes.
no, where's the pause button? I'd be like, pause. I'd be like, you're in here, y'all bugging. What? I didn't know. That type shit. They
For
know that I'm not.
for that 2 billion Dame, yes, I can see you walking inside it. To get back to being friends with Jay-Z and Biggs, yes, I can see you walking inside it. I mean, your teeth already falling out. And it's not from old age. You was drinking and drugging.
Tolerant, or I don't look the other way. I'd be getting out the way, but I might not be so silent. I might not be able to keep that secret of what I saw. So I'm like wondering, like, damn. And I'm wondering if people understand what the buckshot of another person's karma is. Um, with a shotgun, you shoot it in pellet spray. So you might hit your target, but the pellets are gonna hit whoever's around. So you might not meant to be getting shot, but you're gonna catch a couple of a spray of those bullets. That's what karma's like. So if you are around somebody that may be doing something immoral, and you might look the other way or might help facilitate it, karmically, you may be considered accountable.
I don't believe in that word karma. I just don't believe in it. And the reason why I don't believe in karma is because the good die young, but the bad lives forever. I know people that did stuff to people when they was 13 years old and they still walking around right now. How come karma ain't catch them? I know people that never did a thing to anyone a day in their life and they died instantly. How come karma caught them, I guess? What's karma? I don't believe in that word. I'm sorry. You know, I believe in right is right and wrong is wrong. That's it. I don't believe in karma though. Don't bring that karma word around me.
Um, it's made me depend on my family. It's made me focus on the things that really matter, like education, how to really help our culture,
You didn't
raising
focus
a
on
child,
education before?
eating healthy. Like,
You diabetic. You're
again,
supposed to eat healthy.
having all the money in the world and not having your freedom, you're broke. Or not having your health, you're broke.
For sure.
And, I was able, and this was always my motto, was to always invest in my woman. The woman that I love is to.
No, don't be trying to get some extra eggs and pancakes in the morning. So, and dudes stop bringing their women in there. That's that game. That's that Harlem coming about them. What do I want to say? Yeah, when you have a lot of money, you have so many ideas that your mind is just going a thousand different ways. You're just thinking, how can I flip this money and make more money? Right? It's so difficult managing money, procuring it, and attaining it. Is something that you can do relatively, not easy, but moderately. But flipping it, because when you have money, you just don't want it sitting there. You just don't want to just look at a pile of money. You're like, okay, how can I turn that pile of money into 2 piles of money? Now, how can I turn the 2 piles of money to 3 piles of money? I mean, we live in a capitalistic society. So you're always trying to flip, 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 double, double, double. Tupac taught us that, right? Now, no man stayed in the same position forever. So you're always trying to double, double it up. But what about when you don't have any money? Like, man, life seems so simple when you don't have any money. Man, all you want to do is exercise, work out. I mean, shit, you ain't got no money. So, shit, it ain't like you trying to choose whether you going to go to Morton Steakhouse or Fleming's tonight. You know you going to go right to 7-Eleven and get you some water and an apple. And that's dinner. It's easy. It's simple. It's like more money, more thoughts, more difficulties, more hardships, more more people come into your life that bring strife, less money, less problems, less thoughts, less difficulties, less anxiety, less depression. Cause you ain't got nothing to worry about. Cause you broke. I was always more happy when I was poor than I was when I was up. That's just me. I don't know if y'all feel the same.
Make her independent, or the ability to be independent of me. That's to me, the best security a woman can have is to know that she's there because she wants to be, and that she can walk away at any time because she has enough money, which is what my ex-wife did. But I was able to focus on Raquel, us making a baby, her writing a book, a curriculum. I was able to study with principals. I'm not even going to say teach, because they taught me. They taught us how to be a better parent. And with that information, we got inspired to make a whole network about it. If I was in those rooms doing those things, number one, I wouldn't be around my family. That's number one. Number two, I would be working on different agendas. The agenda of getting paid a lot of money to present images of us, and on all verticals, from music to art to everything, of us hurting each other, our dysfunction, us being dependent on them. And he was with his staff. And I really did not like the way he spoke to his staff, to the extent that I had to pull him to the side and say, don't ever talk to me and my staff like that in your life. But because of that, it was like, I don't know if I want to work with these people. When I see other people abusing other people, I know that just because they could never do that to me, it don't mean I'm going to still work with them.
Damn, as much as you belittled your staff, as much as you and Memphis Bleak used to argue on the airplane, you're the last person to be talking about somebody being condescending towards their staff. I'm not going to watch this whole video. We're going to just run through it real quick.
So if you see abuse, but because it's not happening to you and you can still make money with that person, karmically you may be accountable. So, I've known Puff for 30 years. And I
You know, he
haven't been
took
to
that
any one
bullet.
of his parties, especially on the LA side, not even in probably 20 years. So that was the 4th of July, and that's when he was with Jennifer Lopez. And he had a barbecue. And I remember, we were all
Eating
staying in
glizzies.
one house, me, Aaliyah, Jay, a couple of friends, had a chef, had a ball, so.
And then you know what's so funny? Jay-Z was dating Aaliyah first when she was like 15, 16. And then Damon Dash came and took Aaliyah from Jay-Z when she was like 17. Then R. Kelly married her when she was like 17 and a half. Rest in peace, Aaliyah, but boy, oh, y'all got dirt on y'all hands. Y'all some, ooh. The 90s was a different era. Y'all were taking advantage of that girl, man. All she wanted to do was get on and make music. And y'all probably like, baby girl, I could turn you to a star. I could turn you to a movie star. I can make all your dreams come true. When you play on someone's dreams, like, you can get so much money out of them. That's why when you see, like, online, like they always say, if you want to be an actress or an actor, call this company. You're never supposed to pay to be an actor or actress. It's talent. You're supposed to be found. You know, I'm not supposed to pay you to make me famous. You know, that's like, not for nothing, economics college professor teaching me about business. Where your business at? If you were so good about business, if you knew so much about the S&P 500 and Dow Jones, why are you inside here teaching for $14 an hour, waiting for tenure? Why? I'm exaggerating, but why you don't have your own business? Why you not teaching me from your business?
It was a pretty hot crew, and that was the thing, was to be hot for us back then. Like, we were hot. So the party didn't start until we got there, no matter what, because it would be me walking in, Aaliyah walking in, Jay walking in, Tiny walking in, like just and this is we in our 20s. You remember? So yeah, he had his party, and it was definitely, the party was cool, and that night, no one knew who Aaliyah was with, and that's how we wanted it. Because at the time, her and I, we hadn't like actually gone there like that yet, and me and Homeboy was both trying, so no one knew who was messing with who. And that night we left early. I left with Aaliyah, and that's the night that the magic happened with Aaliyah and I. So that was a magical night for me. But in hindsight, that night changed the trajectory.
Translation. You and Jay-Z was both fucking and then you wifed her. A pedophile. Translation. Diddy gonna call your name out too. You gonna be in the cell next to Diddy too. You and Hove. It's coming. Don't worry.
Of a lot of things that went on. But at that party, it wasn't nothing but like 2 years later. I've been there. It's only fun when you first get there because it's a new experience. But once it happens like twice, 3 times, you're like, this shit is whack. And I don't know how people are still stuck in that same kind of a rhythm. But I left. So if there's a
That's for anything in life, though. Like when you go gambling to the casino, it's fun. Like the first 2 times, especially if you win. Oh my God. The dopaminergic pathways. It's so exhilarating. It's like a reward. It's like a pleasure. It's like, yeah, I won. But when you go there the 5th time, the 6th time, the 7th time, the 8th time, the 9th time, the 10th time, it's not that same feeling. It feels like you're chasing. You're just chasing now. You feel like a degenerate gambler. Like now you're chasing it. Now you need an alcohol to help you go to the casino. But this casino has all these people there, all these, and it seems like the hottest spot in the town. You meet new faces every day and talking to new people, but deep down, it's destroying you. Same thing as the rap game.
conception, it could potentially be that people might not think I'm happy and I'm at my most happiest. You know, I think there's a misconception on the magnitude of having your own television network and how hard and how expensive it is to do that. You know, I don't think people know that I run into schools and I work with the OSG and all these principals and that I give curriculum. I don't think people know that. I don't think they want.
That's cool and all. Shout out to you for doing that too. The curriculum and stuff.
That's when I'm difficult. I'm difficult when you're trying to trick people that don't deserve to be tricked. I'm difficult when you're trying to have me help you hurt other people. I'm not helping that.
He does do that. He did, but you do that for your own people. You do that a lot for Cam. Cameron said you taught him a lot about the game, and I saw you, back in the G when you was trying to, get Rockaway and do clothing, and you were trying to do movies, and I mean you had the vision. You had the vision, but I don't know how much percentage you wanted to get from it or why it didn't work out. Everyone says it was your demeanor, but you definitely had a vision, and you definitely not one of the types of people that's gonna just go for anything business wise, But sometimes you gotta learn when to cool it and ride with the tide. You can't always swim against the current, or you get caught in the riptide. And that's how you croak out financial wise. In business, there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies. But you, unfortunately, made permanent enemies. Because people know deep down who you are. And you let them see who you are. You're like Tupac when he was 21. You can't let people know who you are. I'm not saying Tupac was a shrewd businessman, because Tupac was getting screwed over. We all know he had all the rings and all the bling. He had all the fame. He was basically a starving artist, basically. But he would have eventually got on because, he made magic with movies. So eventually he would have got on. But his loyalty to people is what got him killed. You you just greedy. It's two different things.
You know, I'm difficult when people want to rob me. I'm definitely difficult when it comes to that. I'm difficult when people try to keep me from my children. People sometimes get offended. It's like I could talk one way, and it's nice. It's funny. But when I want people to understand what I'm saying, I talk in a tone that I know that they're going to listen to and they know I'm serious. And sometimes they take that as offense. They get real defensive about it. And it's like, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means I don't want you to do something wrong. Because if I say something a certain way, people just tend out algorithmically, if that's even a word, just not to listen. You know, the average person has to be told something 8 times for them to really register.
Or it's your tone and your delivery. You know, if I say something to you and I'm yelling at you, it's just loud vibrations and high octave sounds. But if I sit down and I calmly speak to you about it, then you receive it better. The words land softer. It's like a plane landing on the runway. You can come in hot and you hit a tire, screw, 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 screw. You can come in nice and soft like a pillow. And you don't even know if you landed yet. If you're still sleeping, if you're sleeping on the plane, you're like, oh, did we land? You just hear people clapping. So it's your delivery, it's your tone. It's not what you're saying and how many times you're saying it. This isn't CNNBC where you have to tell us the same lie repetitively until we believe it.
But if you yell sometimes or you say things in a different tone or you just kind of shake the room up, it makes people move quicker. You know?
Some people.
Certain things is like, at some point.
Steve Jobs used to yell at people. He can get away with that. He's white. Black people, it's hard to get away with yelling at another black man because we never had dads in the house. So we're not used to authority figures. So it's hard for you to listen to another man tell you what to do. That's why we have so many issues with law enforcement when we get pulled over and they tell you, get out the car, boy. You know, who the hell are you talking to? Because you never had even had a dad to tell you, boy, get out the bed and go wash the dishes. So when another man tells you that, you get buck and you start to fight back. You know, and that's how a lot of black men get shot.
I'll say it nice. But in this moment, I'm like, yo, as hip hop goes, me, everybody, this was a blow. It really was. Pause. I don't care what anybody say, but we got to pause, pull your skirt up, get back to work, and fight for what hip hop really represents. And it can't be in control of people that just want to exploit it. When I see a Julie Greenwald, I'm wondering how she got her job in the first place. Now she doesn't have it. Kev Lyles. Like, to me, I always say the Sherry should have been where Julie Greenwald was. You know? But the nepotism, Todd Moskowitz, these were Leo Cohen's like lawyers for Def Jam. How do they control music? Because they could structure a deal, or they know how to structure a deal where an artist gets robbed and they're all right with doing it. You know what I mean? The nepotism in the music business is insane. You know, people are able to actually pass their jobs down to their children. Not the black ones, though. You know what I mean? Like, this generational CEOism going on here for the same company.
Yeah, but that's your fault. That's your all's fault. I mean, there's nepotism in everything. There's nepotism in the corporate world. There's nepotism in family structure where you like one child over the other. In the corporate world, nepotism meaning you're gonna call your cousin or your sister or your niece for a position over someone that you don't know. Um, um, you know, you all started like There's no way that you all accrued all that money, billions of dollars, unless the money was never yours. Unless you all were just signed to somebody that was signed to somebody that was signed to somebody that was signed to somebody. But you made us think that you all were bosses. You made us think that you all owned these labels that you were wearing on your neck. We didn't know about Todd Moskovich or Julie Greenwald. You all never put those people in songs. So how were we supposed to know? But what you did do was put your homies in songs. You put your kids in songs. You put your friends in songs. And if you all were really brothers, why not link? Why not say, you know what, forget Judy Greenwald, forget Todd Moskovich. Let's all put our money together and create our own record company, create our own distribution company. I mean, even Tupac thought about that, and he wasn't even 21 yet. You mean to tell me you guys in y'all 30s was still just running around with the girls and the boys and the KY and the lube and the hot oil and the hot towels that you couldn't sit down and say, you know what? Your billion and my billion, 2 billion, let's start our own distribution building. Duh.
And that's wow. But if you put your destiny and your creativity into the hands of people that you know aren't creative, then you get what kind of you deserve. And the thing about it is, and I'm so happy, I'm watching all of these not independents, these majors sort of crumble because there's so many independents now. But you're not going to give me no credit for that one. You know? And I don't need it.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
just glad I was here to see it.
You want to add a boy.
The way the younger generation is able to make money off of things that an older generation just doesn't understand is because you can get stubborn in your ways. Like if you were making money one way in another century, it's not going to work for you in the next century. The way we made money 10 years ago is not the way you're going to make money 10 years.
Yeah, change is inevitable. And change is always better. And change is the only constant thing in life. We know that, Dame. Dame, tell us something that we don't know before I cut you off.
Years later, things evolve. And like for me, I'm not so sophisticated with a computer. I just didn't grow up with it. But these young kids are growing up with these new innovations with clear minds. It's the first thing they're learning. And
Yeah, but they're learning how to use it the wrong way. And you, being an OG, need to stand behind the young person that's on the computer and say, you know, this is what I would say. This is what I would do. Skip the controversy and talk about this. This is what we used to talk about, and this how we used to kick it. And let the young people with the technological gift to type and write and pull up the windows and apps, let them do that, and you guide them from afar. But that's not what you want to do. The young people feel like the OGs want to take advantage of them. You want to take advantage of their technological prowess and their ability to be astute and utilize the computer, and you want your cut, which is 99%, and you want to give them 1%. You know, the young people know that. That's why they stay away from you old heads.
the way AI is going, it's so rapid how quickly it's advancing. And if you don't know how to use AI, and other people are your competition, they're going to get there quicker than you. And they're going to get there with less money, and they're going to have more margin, and they're going to make more money, and then you're going to wonder why these younger kids got more money than you. You got to watch the young kids, see exactly what they're using, and you can't think because it says social that it's not business. Because, I personally dropped the ball when it was musically. I gave it to Tallulah. She might have been like 8. I like the fact that it edited and all that. but I never thought, I thought it was for kids. And then when it turned into TikTok, I was like, still, I'm a grown ass man. But now I realize that the number way people, it's like the new search engine. It's where people buy things. It's distribution. It's like a trick. They call it social media because they're looking at social algorithms, your behavior patterns. But it's really a business platform and a way to sell things without leaving your house and without having to pay a lot of people and having a direct connection with your consumer. And it's a great way to get data. So for me, I forgot what lesson I did last week.
Thank you. How I went broke. Here we go. Thank you. Just teach you something. This is what you.
Push the auction back.
Now, this is what we need rappers to tell us. Right here. I wish I could have skipped the whole video to this point. How I went broke. That's way better than trying to sell us liquor and promote cognac and promote vodka and promote mezcal, whatever. How I went broke. That's what we need to know so we don't make the same mistakes as you.
Indefinitely. Because so many people want money from this auction that they got to sort all that out and they have to figure out if it's even worth it. This week's lesson is child support. Now, my situation with child support.
Do you really need a class on that? Your situation with child support was you going to the club. What'd you say? I walk in first. Jay walk in. Aaliyah walk in. The party starts. You don't think the vultures are watching? You don't think the girls want the money? You don't think the girls just like men want to say whatever snazzy line they can say to get in them panties? Guess what? Girls are gonna say whatever snazzy line they can say to hurdle over you to get to the money. You're just an obstacle to get to the bag. That's what child support is. I can tell you what you about to say before you say it. Thank God I ain't never been on child support. Thank God I ain't got no kids. Whew. Boy.
People are like, you don't pay your child support. I've been on child support since 2007, and it's been about 250 grand a year.
Damn.
And what happens is when I'm late, they want it.
Jesus Christ.
And what I was explaining is that, you have to go and get a downward modification if your finances change. And who wants to do that?
Oh, who wants to do that? Somebody that doesn't want to keep paying $250,000 per year since 2007, and you're no longer the head of Rockefeller. I mean, if I go from making $200,000 to making $30,000, guess what? That nice pretty Benz that's outside that I shouldn't have bought anyway. Cause if you can't buy it, 2 or 3 times, you can't afford it. I gotta take that back. I can't keep riding the Benz, and I'm only making 30 or 20. So what do you mean? Who wants to go down to the child support service and modify? Black people just don't like to go to court. The courtroom gives me the heebie-jeebies. I start scratching every time I walk inside there. And that child protective service, child court service, man, that line is always packed. And guess who be in there? All black people. Learn to keep your little thing in your pants and use this head and not that head, and maybe you wouldn't be on child support since 2007.
Tried to do was keep it where automatically they would get the money. So what I did was with the Rachel Roy brand, that company, $100 million company, I made Rachel Roy, my ex-wife, the manager of the company. And what was instructed, court ordered, was that when the money came into the bank, she would pay my son Lucky's child support, and she would pay her own. And then there was like a judgment, and then she would pay out the rest. Now, I don't know if this is fair, but Rachel and Cindy have the same lawyer. And that lawyer, allegedly, I think, instructed Rachel not to pay her own child support and not to pay Lucky's. And of course, I don't know this. So Rachel moved to LA. I moved to LA. All of a sudden, all this child support has accrued. I didn't know. And from that, I guess they delivered to my old address or whatever. I caught warrants. And I couldn't sue Rachel for doing that because when the child support came in, I lost my standing with the company. Someone took control of it, so I couldn't even sue. And they actually had to sell my interest in that company so that it would satisfy certain judgments.
So you wouldn't go to jail for not paying
So
child
once it was
support.
sold, I couldn't sue. So the moral of that story is, don't put your ex-wife in charge of paying herself for child support. You have...
What? Did y'all hear what he just said? Did this fool just say, don't put your ex-wife in charge for paying child support? Why would you put your ex-wife in charge to pay a fee that you're supposed to be paying her anyway? Oh, man. You need to smarten up. Like, that is the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. You're supposed to be in control of your own finances. If you don't watch your money, you don't want your money. Boy.
have to do that yourself. Don't assume it's getting paid. And, you know, again, when they come and say I owe $120,000, that was like literally 6 months of child support or whatever it was. And I couldn't go get a downward modification because we lived in LA, but the order was written in New York. But we transferred everything to LA. So when I'm trying to get in front of a judge, her lawyer is saying, no, you got to do that in New York. That took about a year. So in the time that I was trying to move or get in front of a judge, more child support accrued.
Yeah, that's it.
And I guess now that there's money to get from the sale, I want them to get it. And what they're also discussing now is how much more child support. So Rachel, the lawyer for both of them, but Rachel, for her part, he wants $700,000. Two is 60 and a half. So for the next 2 years, that's what he wants. And if he can get it, I hope he does. And that's the levels of my child support. And for Lucky, he's 21 years old. No, he's 20 years old. And they want 250 grand or something. For future child support. So they got to sort all that out. And, that's what happens. So if y'all consider that, broke or whatever, I just want you to understand that I haven't been negligent about the child support. Sometimes it just gets late because it's a lot. And, I got judgments, I got taxes. That's the lesson in life. Make sure you pay your own child support. Don't leave it to your ex-wife. Don't make her the head of the company. You could make her the head of the company. Control the manager of the company. When you make someone the manager of the company, you own the company, you still can't even get in the bank. You can't do nothing. You made the manager, and I did it on purpose.
You made your bed, you gotta lay it down.
Same thing with the taxes. You pay somebody to pay your taxes, they don't pay your taxes, can't do it, don't. really big. I
Yep.
hope you'll learn from that.
But you can
When
also
you get to
double
this
check.
position where you have those kind of problems and that volume of money, these are the things you should do with it.
All right, damn,
You
thanks.
know?
So basically, what I learned from watching this episode of Damon Dash, I'm not gonna say make a fool of himself because he didn't do that. But what I learned basically was Damon Dash was not in control of anything. Like all he was in control of was partying, getting girls pregnant, getting drunk, drinking, smoking, and living a high life. He just told you he had his ex-wife in control of paying his child support, which to me is like, why would you do that? Like, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. She became your ex-wife for a reason. Which y'all was still friends or something? You tripping, boy. She put you in a trick bag. And I think you keep using this Cosmo word, or whatever you keep saying. Maybe Cosmo came back on you for everything you did to everybody else. Because that's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's what Dame Dash had to say about sounded like a whole bunch of nothing to me, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Press like, click subscribe, and share with your friends. BigBarrBaby, man, gone. You do comical.